Dr. Shelby Harris. Welcome to the Valder Beebe Show live in Dallas, Texas. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, and I'm glad you're here. I want my audience to know that Dr. Shelby Harris, she's a clinical psychologist and a sleep specialist. And sleep's one of my favorite things, Dr. Harris.
Me too.
I would love to get started for you to tell us, why is sleep so important?
Well, sleep is really important for so many things in our bodies. I mean, I always say it's the bedrock, right? All the things that we're growing, our memory, our balance, our heart health, our brain health. Sleep is important for all those things. And what happens is there was one study that showed that over the summer, we actually get less sleep because we're staying up later and we're trying to soak in all that sunlight, that we need to really work on getting back on track for the fall and get that sleep we need, which is why I partnered with Natrol to really work on their Back on Track campaign, so we make sure we're getting that quality sleep that we need to be our most present at this time of year.
Okay, with the Back on Track campaign, that's a good benchmark for people to aspire to. Okay, so let's start about the campaign. I'm sure it talks about resetting our sleep routine that you mentioned. Tell me about that.
So the first thing I always recommend doing is taking a good inventory of where you are with your sleep routine, being honest with yourself. So have you been staying up a lot later during the week or on the weekends? Are you sleeping in? And then try to set a goal bedtime and wake time for what you need to do for the fall. And for some people, if you still have some time, maybe adjust it by 15 minutes earlier every day or two, so you gradually get to where you need. Some people don't have the luxury of doing that, so we just have to set it. But then once you get to where you need to be, or even as you're adjusting, make sure you're winding down before bed and you're reducing light exposure. That's really important. So make sure that even if the sun's out, you've got those light blocking shades. You might want to use a sleep mask. Stay away from the screens. Screens before bed really make it harder to fall asleep.
You know, people have talked about no TV in the bedroom for years. Could you speak on that?
Yeah, so no TV in the bedroom is really important because for a few reasons. One is if we're lying in the bed for a long amount of time, you're just associating the bed with being awake, which is not helpful for sleep either. The bed should be for sleep. And if you're watching TV or even your screen in front of your face, you're making your body's natural melatonin not come out as much, which makes it actually harder to sleep. Melatonin is one of those things that helps to set our sleep-wake cycle. And if you're looking at screens, you're making the melatonin not come out, and you're making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Talk about melatonin as a supplement, because I hear more and more people say they're taking it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of misinformation about melatonin. What we always try to do is make sure you're consistent with a consistent wake time, getting light in the morning, avoiding those screens before bed. And if that's not enough, then maybe talk with your doctor about melatonin. In sleep medicine, we actually recommend small doses or small amounts of melatonin. So 0.5 milligram to maybe max 5 milligrams of melatonin. And the other thing I recommend is what melatonin does is it shifts your sleep-wake schedule. So if you use a low amount, and you talk with your doctor about when to use it, maybe a few hours before bed for some people, that can help shift it. And then one other thing I do stress is to look for something that's USP verified on the bottle. That shows that an independent party has given their stamp of approval saying that what's in the bottle is actually in it. So for example, Natrol has like a 5 milligram fast dissolve version that says USP verified. That's what you want to look for when you're thinking of selecting a melatonin and you're talking with your doctor about the amount to take.
And finally, tell us the goal of the Back on Track campaign.
It's really to help make sure that we're getting the quality and the quantity of sleep that we need. For adults, ideally 7 to 9 hours for many of us. And it's really about making sleep that priority during the fall and helping us to adjust so that we're not sleep deprived going into the fall.
One more thing I'd like you to speak on off script. My audience is made up of 89.9% baby boomers of the 1.7 million people that listen, read, or follow the Valder Beebe Show. How important is sleep to that group?
Oh, sleep is super important. So sleep is important for cognitive functioning, for balance, especially in the baby boomer population. We really need to think about that. Your balance, your ability to walk, risks of falls and accidents happen more when you're sleep deprived. So it's really something that you need to talk with your doctor about if you're struggling with sleep. Don't just let it go. Talk with your doctor if you're trying all the basic behavioral techniques and nothing's working.
Dr. Shelby Harris, this has been very eye-opening, and thank you so very much for this great information. Have a great day.
You too.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.